The gaming industry has come a long way from being a simple science fair project to a massive multi-billion-dollar industry which has birthed genres such as MOBA, horror, Metroidvania, and many others. This is because of how versatile gaming can be. This is because of how the controls of the games are and that they could fit any genre. In fact, this versatility can make games combine two genres. In this video, Elijah Edang and I, Ryan Vasquez, will be talking about a possible game pitch that can combine both the MOBA and the Metroidvania genre called the Salticide War.
Times were rough as the seasons went by. The different colonies of ant, spider, insect creatures called as salticides or salts began to fight for food and territory. Each colonies sent out their troops to fulfill their duties. Then you, as the player, later found out that your comrades have been held captured. You, as the last one not captured, has the mission to fight the other colonies' hives. There are many hidden items that will make your salt stronger the more you gather them. As you traverse the colonies where there are hidden passages where you will be led to the unknown. As the final hope of survival, you must fulfill your duty so that your colony will have a future.
The Salticide War is a 2D game that combines aspects of MOBA and Metroidvania. This game will have a single-player campaign segment and a multiplayer segment. However, the units that you can play in the multiplayer is dependent on the number of units that you have unlocked. This means that if you only have the fighter, you can only play in the multiplayer segment as that single unit. The other units can be unlocked through the single-player campaign segment. The single-player campaign will feature you playing as a fighter salt. Your colony is currently at war with the other salt colony, and your team has been captured by the enemies. With the player being the only one who hasn't been captured, the player must rescue them from the enemy salt colony. Just like a Metroidvania, you will encounter different levels and different areas. Before we continue, I would like to point out again that we will be using game mechanics from other games to help get the point across. One of our points being that you can unlock any unit at different paces. Just like Hollow Knight, where you fight different bosses which could be done in different orders in each gameplay, the Salticide War also follows this idea, where there is no predetermined set of bosses to fight and characters to unlock, alongside hidden secrets that players can find in order to make them stronger. Unlocking all of the 5 different units doesn't have to be in any specific order. The first unit you may unlock could be an assassin followed by the tank, and so on. As a side note, once you have unlocked the unit, you could switch units in the single player campaign. If there's a level you feel is easier to use with a tank salt, then you can switch from being a fighter salt to a tank salt. However, this isn't to say that there are areas where only certain units can be useful. Aside from unlocking different units at different times, there's also the feature of hidden secrets in multiplayer segments. The multiplayer segment will be played like something out of Awesome Nuts, a 2D MOBA. The maps for the multiplayer segment of the Salticide War will have secret passages, hiding places, and items capable of increasing a player's health. The locations for these secrets will be randomized so players would have to find them. The passageways could be used for moving to other parts of the map faster. The hiding places, as the name implies, are secret holes that could be used for ambushing enemies, and the health items, which are actually the dead soldiers who have died here in the battle, will obviously increase health. Keep in mind though that the body can only be eaten several times before it disappears completely. As a side note, the reason why these features are hidden is because the battle takes place in former territories that were fought by previous assaults. Over time, these battlefields have not been visited, and thus dirt has begun to block these holes. Speaking of multiplayer maps, the Salticide War has 3 multiplayer game modes.
Fighter. The simple but one of the stronger types of unit has the ability called Adrenaline, which enhances own's physical capabilities. Marksman has the capability to shoot from long distances. If one has enough firepower, will be able to shoot through multiple targets, penetrating their defense to deal tons of damage. Tank, one of the bigger sized ones, always the one that goes in first, has the ability of indomitable will, tanking all the damage taken within a certain period of time. Artillery, slow but powerful, has abilities similar to Marksman but has more area of effect. If one has enough energy, will have the ability to shoot a huge AoE attack, slowing and dealing tons of damage. Assassin, fast and agile, one of the smaller types. As many said, don't judge a book by its cover. This guy has the ability to cloak, making it easier for it to get closer to the enemy back line to do an ambush attack. Your colony is struggling to sustain itself, though hope for survival was slim until you and your comrades found a territory scattered with resources. To your group's surprise, you saw another group of salts tailing your tracks, then starts to gather the resources that you found first. You and the opposing party then start to fight over the resources as you battle to the death. Will be 2 teams of 5. Your goal is to reach the target goal of points before the other enemy team does. There are 3 variations of food, which are maggots, silkworm, and the biggest one, caterpillar. You stumbled upon a huge millipede. It was a perfect resource for the colony because of its huge size, meaning it would sustain the colony for a couple of days. On the other end, another group also started to take interest in the millipede you discovered and tried to take it for themselves. Now you clash with the other party to claim what was rightfully yours. The millipede moves slowly due to its enormous size. The objective is to lure the millipede to your area. The match ends when the millipede reaches its destination, which is your base or the enemy base. Your group was traversing the plains. You are signaled by the ones in the colony to come back cause of the invader ants. Your group then comes quickly, clearing through waves and waves of invader ants. As the last line of defense, it's the team's duty to defend the colony at all costs or everything will be lost. There are multiple waves of invader ants, increasing more and more as the level progresses, indicating the amount of broods that have been moved. It's the job of the team to control and clear the waves of invader ants until the meter bar is filled.
Both MOBAs and Metroidvanias are good genres. Each has their own characteristics that help make them stand out. When games combine genres, they have the potential to create something that is both intriguing and entertaining. As the future game developers of Pineal, it is our job to expand the gaming industry to brand new heights, and somewhere in the future, an entirely new genre will be formed, which will help further expand the ever-growing gaming industry.